Number 3. John is joining a golf club that has an annual fee of $1,000 and charges $15 per round of golf. Which table represents this situation? Now, there are a lot of ways to do this, and I honestly debated between two about how to explain it, but I'm going to use the way that I think the HiSET would. This way will give you the most benefit in preparing for the HiSET. Let me first of all come up with a function. This is really the first time that we've had to write our own function. So here's what it's telling me in my own words. The total cost for John to join this club is a yearly fee, plus $15 per round of golf that he plays. Okay. Now we don't know how many rounds of golf he's going to play. He doesn't know. When he's paying this fee, think about this. If John had paid his fee in January of this year, and then the coronavirus came, he's not going to be playing a lot of rounds of golf. On the other hand, if he decided to play every day, he's going to be playing a lot of rounds. So the rounds of golf are unknown, and I'm going to call that R. You can use X, whatever you want, but I like R. So $15 per R, per round. Now we know the fee is $1,000 a year, and I know that because it says so. An annual, that means yearly, fee of $1,000. So his total cost is based on the rounds of golf he plays. It depends entirely on the number of rounds he plays. If he plays 1 round, it's not going to be much more than the fee. If he plays 1,000 rounds, he's going to have a pretty steep tab to pay. So here's the function. Cost in terms of rounds is 1,000 plus $15 per round. So this 15 per round is written as 15R. So we have just written ourselves a very nice function. This says nothing about consecutive differences. This is not one of those problems. What they're asking me to do is to figure out which one of these tables matches my function. So the first thing I want to do is this, and watch my screen here carefully. You learned this on the first day of class. We need to look at the domain of each of these. So those domains match each other. This one matches, that one matches, and that one matches. So they were nice to me this time. They let me have the same domain in each table. So guess what my domain is going to be as I evaluate this function? I'm going to use the same input values that they used. And because I have this so blown up, I'm just making these one line. You can draw them however you want to. So I need a header, and then I need 6 input rows. So I need 2 more. And I'm going to make this my input column, this my function column, and we don't have to worry about consecutive differences. We are not doing that this time. So our inputs are the same ones that these guys chose to use. And I came up with an extra line. You would not want to change your values here because that wouldn't help you pick the answer. If you made up completely different numbers, you wouldn't be able to compare them. So we need to use the same yellow values that they used. That's very important. Okay, the function that we wrote is sitting right there. C, the cost in terms of rounds, is the yearly fee plus $15 a round. And we're just going to evaluate like we have been now for a very long time. So I'm going to say 1,000 plus $15 for no rounds of golf. So let's say that this is Corona year and he pays the 1,000 and then they close the golf course. So he is still out $1,000, but he doesn't have to pay anything for golf. Well, let's say that he gets in one round of golf before they close the golf course. And so that's 1,000 for the monthly or the yearly fee, and then one round of golf is $15. Okay, $1,000 a year plus $15 per round, and he plays 2 rounds. And if you get the concept that this is growing by 15, that's very good. You could really just go ahead and fill in those outputs. Now, I don't like shortcuts, and I'm going to go back and do this work. But if I'm taking the HiSET test, I don't have time to do all that. So once you realize that the slope in this formula is 15, that's the unit rate, you can just add that if you want to do it. If you don't see that, that's okay. You can work this out just like we're doing, and you'll end up with the same answers. So that is one of the things that I debated on, whether I should work every line or just show you the shortcut. But Andrew could tell you how Amanda feels about shortcuts in math. I do not like them because they get folks in trouble. But at this level of math, if you're understanding what's going on here, you're safe to do shortcuts because you know enough that you won't get caught in a trap. So there are the inputs in yellow and the outputs in that I haven't highlighted yet. Let me answer this text. I'm sorry, guys. Okay, so let me come back through and highlight my outputs. Because these are the bottoms of those tables we have to go back and compare to. We have to find a row of range that matches our range. Now remember, this is the domain. We need to match up the range that we just found. So when I look back at my table and I start running that range row, we didn't get anywhere near 5,075. In row B, it's dropping. That doesn't make sense because he would be adding money each time he played golf. Same with row C. D is just way too small. But look at E. That matches our range to the letter, and that's what we want. Our answer is E. I like this problem, partly because we have to write the function. So if I wrote the HiSET, I think I would do one of those.